You forget people's names instantly. You meet someone, shake their hand, and 5 seconds later, the name is gone. You remember faces, conversations, everything they said, just not the name. People think it means you don't care. Actually, it's linked to higher intelligence. Your working memory is limited, and smart brains fill it fast. When you meet someone, your brain is processing their face, tone, body language, and what they're saying all at once. The name is one small piece, competing with everything else. And your brain prioritizes the complex information over the simple label. Research from the University of Toronto found that people with stronger cognitive abilities actually have worse name recall because their brains are busy building a deeper profile of the person. You're the one who remembers a coworker's dog was sick 3 months ago, but can't remember if he's Mike or Mark. Names you can ask again. The conversation you can't recreate. You prefer being alone at parties. Everyone's talking and laughing, and you're in the corner with your phone. People assume you're antisocial. But preferring solitude in social settings correlates strongly with intelligence. The British Journal of Psychology tracked 15,000 people and found that highly intelligent people get less life satisfaction from socializing, not because they can't do it, but because they don't need it the same way. Most people need external stimulation to feel engaged. Smart brains generate their own. They're already running at full capacity, so social demands on top of that are draining, not energizing. That's why you can work alone for hours and develop ideas in solitude that would never form in noise. Research from Carroll University shows people with higher IQs spend more time alone and are happier when they do. You laugh at dark humor. Everyone else looks uncomfortable at a joke about death or disaster. You laugh. Researchers at the Medical University of Vienna showed people dark humor cartoons, then measured their IQ and emotional stability. People who found it funny scored higher on both. That's because dark humor demands fast, layered processing, recognizing the taboo subject, catching the twist, and detaching enough emotionally to find it funny instead of disturbing. Most people get stuck at step 1. The payoff is resilience. People who appreciate dark humor tend to show lower aggression and better mood regulation. You're the one who stays calm in a crisis and can crack a joke when everything's falling apart. That's not inappropriate. It's a sophisticated coping mechanism. You change your mind constantly. You form an opinion, learn something new, and update. People call that wishy-washy, but research in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology shows smarter people revise their beliefs more often. Most people attach their ego to being right and dig in against new evidence. Smart people treat opinions as temporary, best guesses based on current information, and update when better information shows up. The same way science works. That makes you seem unreliable, but it means you're wrong less often because you correct faster instead of staying committed to ideas that stopped working. Studies link this to lower dogmatism and higher openness to experience. You're terrible at small talk. Someone asks how you're doing, and fine feels like a lie, but the real answer feels like too much. Small talk fills silence, but carries no real information, and information-seeking brains reject it. The same way your body rejects food with no nutrients. Research from the University of Arizona found people who have more substantive conversations report higher well-being, and people with higher intelligence naturally gravitate there and skip the small talk when they can. It comes off as cold, but the upside is depth. You build fewer relationships, but the ones you have are real, built on actual conversation instead of small talk's weak ties. You get songs stuck in your head easily, even ones you hate, looping for hours. Researchers at Western Washington University found people who get frequent earworms score higher on working memory tests. Most people's auditory processing shuts off when the music stops. Yours keeps running and replaying. A phenomenon called spontaneous musical imagery, which requires an actively engaged brain. The mechanism behind it is pattern recognition. Your brain is excellent at grabbing and storing patterns, whether that pattern is a song or a trend in a spreadsheet. Research links frequent earworms to stronger performance on pattern detection tasks, the same skill that spots a market shift before anyone else sees it. You question things everyone else accepts. Someone says, "This is just how it works." And you ask why. And people call you difficult. But constant questioning is a core trait of high intelligence. Research consistently links higher intelligence to skepticism and a willingness to challenge assumptions, because intelligent brains are built to spot flaws and inconsistencies rather than accept things at face value. Schools and workplaces often want compliance, not questions, which is why this trait makes you unpopular. But every major advance, from flight to civil rights, came from someone questioning what everyone else accepted. Societies with more people willing to question the status quo produce more innovation and more patents. Questioning isn't a flaw. It's how your intelligence shows itself. So, which of these hit closest to home? The thing that feels like your biggest flaw might actually be proof of how your brain works.